What is up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. I wanted to drop some knowledge tonight about some weight loss secrets. Maybe they're not so secret, but some things that you should know if you are experiencing either having a hard time losing some weight or feel like you're plateauing a little bit or anything along those lines. So first of all, this video is being made under the assumption that you know that you have to be in a calorie deficit to be able to lose weight, all right? So 500 calorie a day deficit for 7 days will equal about a half pound to a pound a week of weight loss. Now, that is not the end-all be-all, but it is definitely the first building block and probably the most consistent building block of what you need to lose the weight. Now, again, kind of recapping what I said last week is that we need to make the decision of whether we want to be not hungry, moderately hungry, or very hungry, and still be able to sleep well and have good workouts in a calorie deficit. So 500 calories of deficit a day should leave you not very hungry at all, to maybe a very tiny bit hungry. If you can do that, have good energy through your day, have good workouts, and sleep well, and that's what you want to do, and you can sustain it long term, awesome. Now, once we start getting to 750, 1,000 calorie a day deficit, we're going in the moderate to very hungry. And while some people can have their energy, have good sleep, and have good workouts with that, some people cannot. Now, what I also want to push across is that once we get that calorie deficit down, now we want to start to look at total calories and macronutrients, and then micronutrients and phytonutrients. So calories is a personalized number depending on your metabolic rate, which has to do with your age and which has to do with a number of factors. Now, we can calculate it at the gym. The dietitians can calculate it and be able to tell you how many calories a day you should have. 1,200 calories a day, for some reason this is like some kind of like magical number somebody threw out there, does not mean you're going to lose weight. 1,400 calories a day doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. 1,600 calories a day doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. You need to have the right amount of energy to be able to get yourself into the calorie deficit and still recover well. Recovery is where the magic happens. You don't lose weight while you're working out. You don't lose weight while you're eating. You lose weight in the time between those things. So the recovery is the most important part of everything. So that's your sleep, your energy renewal, your relaxation. All these different things are part of your weight loss, and because that impacts you at the hormonal level, which then breaks down obviously into the cellular level. So we need to keep a mindful eye towards our energy and our recovery and our renewal. Now, when we're looking at protein, carbs, and fats, those are our macronutrients. And we've done challenges through my coach about macros. And again, we can calculate them at the gym. I don't have those memorized by heart, but we can absolutely calculate how many calories you should have along with your macronutrients. So we want to balance out your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. A lot of it is dependent on kind of your body type, again, your metabolic rate. Some people lose fat with more carbohydrates. Some people lose fat with more protein, so on and so forth. Some people lose fat with more fat. So we need to be able to calculate these different things to give you the right amount of the numbers for you to be able to have success. So the answer, if you're not losing weight and you're at, say, 1,400 calories a day, could very well be you're not eating enough carbohydrates. You're not eating enough protein. You're not eating enough fats. Now, we obviously very much need to keep in mind that calorie deficit is a lot easier when we have veggies and fruits to be able to fall back on, because they give us a lot of really good micronutrients and phytonutrients, which are like the icing on top of the cake, for very little calories. Now, of course, veggies and fruits are carbohydrates, but they are slow carbs. They are carbs that break down super easily in our system and are really good for us to fall back on, to snack, to curb our sweet tooth, to be able to stay consistent. Now, something else that I've been talking to a lot of people about since I've been starting to really focus on more habits is that we've been hearing like, oh, obviously, I don't have time for that. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. All these different levels, okay? If you are committed to losing weight, right? If your number one goal is to lose weight or build muscle or just beyond that, like this is a very healthy thing for you to do. Whatever your goal is, we want to be able to stress to you that there is, again, these are all working together. You can't just outwork a bad diet. And if you're not eating one of proteins, carbs, or fats, you are lacking in that area. There are supplements that you can have to help you supplement the lack of those nutrients in your diet, but they will never be able to stack up to the real thing. So let's say you don't get enough veggies in your day. You can have a greens powder, but it is never going to stack up to eating veggies or greens. It's a lot of the fiber is filtered out of this, right? And so you saw the conversation about like the fruit juice on the weekend. Fruit juice is just sugar water. It's all it is. It's sugar water with the flavor of whatever fruit that it's coming into. It's a naturally occurring sugar, yes. But a lot of them are also with added sugars and concentrates and stuff like that. And so it's really just, when we all look down to it, it is basically just sugar water. So what I want to stress is that if you are saying to yourself, I can't, I don't have time for, I don't want to, just try saying and replacing those words that you're using with, it's not a priority to me to do X, Y, Z, right? And if your health is your priority and you want to see the result, then you cannot say you don't have the time, you can't do this, you can't do that, you don't want to do this or that. It is simply a matter of being the person who you aspire to be to, setting the systems to do that, right? And if you don't want to, fine, that's awesome. We don't have to be one thing or another, but we have to be realistic in between our goals and the actions that we are taking to achieve those goals. It is all based on habit. Another good way to go about this is if you are, environment is the number one predictor of good habit. So, obviously if we're working and we're walking past a table with donuts and cookies and, sugary coffee and stuff like that, we are putting ourselves in a poor position to make healthy choices. If you are not buying vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, so on and so forth, you're not putting yourself in the environment. If you're buying chips and cookies, you are putting yourself in a poor environment, right? So we talked about be the healthy person. Say, I am a healthy person, or what would a healthy person do in this situation? My big issue is that I get caught up eating the bag of tortilla chips, right? But we always buy it. So if I don't want to eat it, I just don't buy it, okay? And usually that's whenever I'm setting a specific goal that I'm usually trying to get to. A lot of the times I'm just in like a maintenance phase. A lot of times I am just trying to stay away from those things. A lot of times I just eat the tortilla chips because I like them and I don't want to get rid of them. But then I also have to say, all right, I'm probably not going to see my abs for a little bit. Like I'm not going to ever be the peak of what I think about in my mind. So just a lot of considerations that I wanted to talk to you about. I've been doing a lot of habit creation, working with people, talking with people one-on-one about setting processes, about setting predictable habits, about hacking their habits and looking for better cues and when to be aware. And these are things that I'm coming across, and I wanted to help you guys avoid it the best that you can and start to tap into your potential and your mindset, because I really think that's where the biggest gap is with a lot of us, especially for me, and I know for a lot of y'all as well, is that the biggest gap happens at our mind at the habit-based level, that we need to start addressing a little bit better of when to recognize and how to change. And that is over the next 6 months, that is my goal to bring to Inner Strength, is to shed delight how to really break these habit changes down at the behavioral level and awareness level before it starts to kind of shed out a little bit more. So, I work every day on fleshing out these things and how to turn them into better challenges for you guys and how to turn them into better content. I'm doing a lot more content to be able to share it with everybody, and I'm really excited where it's going to go. But last thing I want to share is that we do have the dietitian starting this week. So please, 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 if you have questions about diving into your nutrition a little bit better, Michelle is going to be the first dietitian who's coming. She is a great registered dietitian. She's got a sports certification in dietetics, and she's also like a behavioral life coach as well. So she functions on a lot of the same levels that we do. Our goals and our missions are very much aligned. So she can absolutely help you kind of line up the things that we're talking about as well. And I'm more than happy to sit in and come in on those meetings and kind of be the translator sometimes, and also kind of put my 2 cents in as well. So let us know if you need help. Let us know if you want to talk to any of us on the phone and really start to break these down better. That's what we are here for. Don't forget, just because you're past your challenge and we want to keep goals being set consistently so that we can flesh out processes and focus on habits. Not, I think the worst predictor of achieving a goal is setting a goal. The best predictor of achieving a goal is setting a plan of action at the behavioral level to be able to then achieve that goal, and then comparing yourself to a person who would ideally be able to reach that goal. So again, if you have any questions, you want to dive into this a little bit more, let me know. More than happy to help you out. In this video today, we talked about how to lose weight, some weight loss secrets. We talked about macronutrients, calorie deficit, macro, micro, and phytonutrients. We talked about behavior change, setting habits, and what actions to take moving forward to be able to achieve them. So please, please, please reach out. Let us help you, and let's take some positive steps forward so that everybody can get where they really want to be without any kind of stumbling blocks or negative self-talk. So hope that helped, guys. Let me know, and talk to you soon. Thanks.